We are live. Hello, live feed. It's Monday, March 18th. Welcome to Monday and welcome to March 18th. I'm going to go ahead and start the other feed here too. It's Howard Stern on this date with some Artie Lange updates and what happened on the show today. We can talk about that since we had a live show. We can look back at some things that happened in Howard Stern history, and we're going to do that. We're going to wish happy birthday to Dane Cook, though. Happy birthday to Dane Cook. He was born in 1972. That would make him 52. Hello, Lance. Welcome. Lance is here, everybody. If you're here, please comment and say hello and tell me how you're doing, how your weekend was. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Adam Levine's birthday today is Sterner. He was born in 1979. Hello, Jimmy. Hey now. So, again, if you're watching on tape, I talk to the folks who come through and say hello. I say hey now to you, Jimmy. Thank you, and thank you, Lance. Welcome to the show today. I guess you got the notifications today, Lance. Congrats. I was going to start this a little later, but I'm ready. I'm ready to talk to the people. So let's talk and talk about what happened on this date. Chuck Berry died on this date, by the way. St. Louis's own. Did some weird stuff in a bathroom in this day. Hello. Hi there. Hello, Oxy. Yes, got the notification. I don't know what, I wonder what happened, why everybody's got the notifications, but thank you. Oxy Montana is here in the house. And if you come and join us every day, we'll do this. I think this is a good time. I think everybody kind of understands what time. I wonder why you got notifications today, though, and not before. Come on, YouTube, get it together. Chuck Berry died on this day. And it's Queen Latifah. How did Evil Dave say her name? Queen Latifah. Howard, and I can't do an Evil Dave impression. Anyway, Queen Latifah today, 53 years old. It's her birthday, March 18th. Happy birthday. I was going to do one of these over the weekend and then decided not to. I didn't want to do it. But how's everybody doing out there? Everybody having a good weekend? So what we do is we look back at moments on this date, but we can also now talk about some of the things that happened on the show today. So hello, thank you, James. Man, everybody's getting the notification. I wonder what happened. I did change the time up from 4:30 Central to 4 just a half hour ago. I wonder if that is what has to happen to get all these fine folks in here. But thank you for coming in, James. He just got the notification bell as well. And what we do is we look back at moments on the show, and then we'll talk about what happened on the show today too. Because I actually I did it. I got that free 3-month subscription. Here we go. Boy, was it terrible today. By the way, we can talk about what happened today on the show. So let's start. March 18th, today on the show. First time we can say that since we started our live show. Today he started by complaining because Robin thought that Howard had to make a decision on when he's going to sign his contract. She said, yeah, we only have 1 year left here. Our deal's up in 2025. And Howard's like, oh, it's March. We have 9 months. I guess I have to. Turns out they're going to be on until the end of 2025. So they'll be doing terrible radio for the next year and a half. But I do wonder what will happen after this. It seems strange that he continues to get these giant contracts from Sirius when podcasting is what people want, isn't it? Couldn't he just go and do podcast? Is it necessary to pay him whatever? Isn't it 50 million, something like that? I don't know. What do you guys think? You think he'll come back? What do you think? He'll be 72. And then Robin wants to know, like, Robin, take some time off, enjoy traveling. So that's how the show started today. They did a Richard Lewis eulogy as well. Thank you, Oxy Montana. Yes, podcasts are the majority. I'm still shocked that Sirius pays him this kind of money. It feels like they're kind of behind the wheel on this, and Spotify took off with Joe Rogan. I don't know how that's. I wonder how that's helping them though. I haven't seen any numbers. I don't go skewering the numbers of podcasts, but how about let's take a look at what happened on this date. Yeah, that's right, James. He wants the money. James says he wants the money. That's what I got to tell the folks who are watching this not live. So what we do, if you're watching live, you know what we do. We come here, we talk. I talk back to the audience. We have some fun. Give away some stuff. Have I given away anything yet? We'll do that some other time. I ate some food last time. Talk about Simply Safe, one of the products tagged here. So take a look at Simply Safe. It's the easiest security system you can have in your house. I'm not getting paid for this. I have it. I use it everywhere. And it's a wonderful, and you can buy it here on my platform. So please do that. Lauren, hello, Lauren. I got an offer to renew Sirius for $199 a month for 12 months. You canceled in 2020. I'll just say, and I don't like to give away secrets. I used to use different email addresses, and I have not paid for Sirius since probably 2006. Like I had to have it because I had to hear what they were going to do. But just by doing this channel, I've been listening basically for free. I go and just change an email address or a name, and so it's very simple. I just got 3 months free again, so I'm going to be using that to help this channel here as people seemingly enjoy coming here talking about the show. But yeah, the offers are low. I want it's interesting. And then the other thing I saw people talking about on the Howard Stern Reddit channel. Reddit goes for an IPO this week, by the way. Anybody getting that? But the fact that Richard and Sal are out really hawking themselves and getting ready to maybe start their second career of being, party MCs. I know they work with a friend of the show, Billy Mira. Billy Mira has been on the show, but we'll be seeing what happens there. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look back at some things that happened on this date and maybe even further back because we missed a couple. But I'll be honest, the further I go back, the more I'm just, it's still amazing how much funnier the show was. I mean, the last 10 years, let's just look at 2015 here. Nick Cannon's Hot Girlfriend and the Mars. That's how it starts off on March 8th, 2015. We have Bobo's Very Important Question. I don't check in on that. Malcolm, the Dolphin Lover, checks in. Hansi wants a WrestleMania tickets. Am I saying his name? I forgot if someone called me out on the way. I said, Hansi? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. Wolfie interviews greatest whacker packer of all time brackets. Wack Pack bracket winner Beetlejuice calls in, and Robin's news. That was the show on March 8th, 2015. Not a lot going on. March 18th, 2013. On this date, we're looking back as we do. We had Fred's The Power of Drops on tonight. I don't know what that is. Probably some of the the things that he plays, which he doesn't get to really do. Actually, Fred was on the show today. What were they talking about today? Let me think about that. Anybody remember? I'm drawing a blank. They had Fred talking about, what the hell were they talking about? I just listened to it. Well, if you know, put it in the chat. He had Fred on, and then he was already sick of hearing from Fred, and I can't remember what it was about. They did a long Richard Lewis retrospective today. I'm interested in folks' thoughts on Richard Lewis. I only found him funny on Curb. I've never, ever seemingly found him that funny on stand-up. I didn't like him on Letterman back in the day, but sad that he's gone. I was trying to get Richard Lewis here on this program, by the way, and we were close, and then he wasn't. So that's sad. March 18th, 2013, we're looking back on this date. He was good in Men in Tights. So I didn't see that, and then he was in the show with Jamie Lee Curtis. He had his own, I forgot about this kind of big kind of run he had in the mid-90s where he had his own sitcom. Anything but love? Anything for love? Anyway, anything for love. But I'll have to take Men in Tights. I've never seen. I should take a look. So March 8th, was talking about Fred's Power of Drops. Yeah, I can't remember what they said today, but Fred was on the show for a second. Ooh, God, what are they talking? I hate when this happens. This is scaring me that my memory is going away as we speak because I just heard them talking to Fred. But maybe our folks here can tell us if they heard it. Maybe not. I'll tell you more about what happened on the show today, and I'll also talk. Somebody named Casey Musgraves was on. I know she was just on. I think she was just on Saturday Night Live. Did not listen to that. It's always funny when he brings in these new people, and he tries to interview them as if the former class of fam wants to hear Casey Musgraves on his show. But then he does Billy Joel too, and it wasn't that great either. I don't know. But back in 2013, we had Back Office Radio on hiatus. We had Carol Alt sit in for the news. It's not much going on. That was 2013. All right, March 18th, 2009. Not a lot going on this date, by the way. I'll just mention that here as we look back. A lot of vacation replays. I think this is the first time he's been on March 18th since 2018. He hadn't been on this date today, so he was on today, March 18th, but he hasn't been on in a long time as he takes lots of vacations. March 8th, 2009, this is what happened on the show. We had some American Idol discussions, Natasha Richardson discussions, some radio history with Imus. We had Dr. Drew come in, and I guess the big thing that happened here was Robin was very upset about the narcissist test that was given. She was rated the most narcissistic on the show, I believe, during this program on March 18th, 2009. Did Natasha Richardson, when did she die? I'm not sure who this is. So sorry, Oxy Montana. Please help me out. My commenters are here. We're having some fun if you're watching live. If you're watching on tape, please come here live. We try to do this every weekday. We're trying to do it every. Well, look over at the camera. Hello. We try to do this every weekday, right around 4 o'clock Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We'll see if the time works. We still we have a good group here that come and join us. Some regulars. So hopefully we'll get some more. Tell your friends. That's what Howard was talking about on this date. Oh, look at you. I think you're right. I didn't continue to look any further into that, but yeah, that's probably what happened in 2009. March 18th, 2008. Artie's running a little late. Sparky, thank you. Sparky's asleep on the couch. You should hear him soon, though. He loves to, I think the dryer's on, and when the dryer stops, he likes to attack the dryer. So Sparky should be making some noise here shortly. I'll let you know. But thank you for asking about him, Lance. People are very excited about what's going on with the dog. Maybe one day we'll have Sparky on. Maybe I'll see if he wants to be part of this. He's a big Stern fan, or he was back in the day. No longer a Stern fan is Sparky. But thank you for asking, Lance. March 18th, 2008. So Marty running a little late. I'm thinking we're going to look this up. Hello. Yes. We need a picture review on your wall one day. A picture review. Oh, of what's on the wall behind me? So a buddy of mine had this sort of set up with his family. And I said I could do that with some sports stuff. So I bought this Chinese sort of thing where you can place the where you want the pictures. So that's what happened back there. But yeah, that's some Cardinal stuff. A lot of Cardinal stuff back when they were winning. It all stops in 2011 because that's when they stopped winning. I put a curse on the team in 2016. I cursed the team. And the Cardinals have not won. Not only have they not won the World Series since 2011, let's see, if they won one playoff series, and it was in 2019, and it was like a fluke. But I think they're like 1-14 in their last 15 playoff games. But that's not why you came here. Now, let me know if you're interested in some sports talk, because I'm thinking about doing that on my other channel, which is Here's the Pitch with Brad. And that's the one I put Cardinal interviews on and baseball interviews. So if you want to talk baseball, a lot of stuff happened over the weekend with Ali Marmol, the Cardinal manager, was re-signed, and Cardinal fans went nuts. Hello, James. You're a Cubs fan? We can talk Cubs. I like the Cubs. I love watching Cubs broadcast. It was real fun when they were good. It was amazing, though. The Cubs could have blown their one chance at a World Series in 2016 if it didn't rain. Jason Hayward gave the big speech, and then they come back and win that game. But, man, I was rooting my ass off for them to lose again when Rajah Davis hit that 3-run homer. But we're here for Howard Stern stuff. So we can talk sports, we can talk baseball, we can talk current events. Let's see why on March 18th, 2008, though, Artie was running a little late. Let's take a look. Uh-oh. Okay. What is this? My glasses. Gotta get the glasses on. Let's see. So Howard got back. Oh, we talked about Artie's wrap-up show. Yeah, he was on the wrap-up show and said he thinks Howard only wants him to do this for the show. They're trying to find Artie a wife is what's going on here. Rick Monday is the best color commentator. Now, he's a Dodger guy, I believe, right? I've been listening to the Dodgers, and he's part of that. Let's see I can't even see. Let me get in there. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Rick Monday does a nice job. I like Boog. I like Jim DeShays. I love when Rick Sutcliffe is on. I like Len Casper is now a White Sox guy, but I really enjoyed who's Pat Hughes. Yeah, I love me some Pat Hughes. Yes, so let's get to this. So this was, thank you, Oxy Montana, for keeping, I've got ADD as well, so I will look at the comments and just start talking about whatever I see. But Oxy tells me, Artie got pretty pissed about this, didn't he? So yes, this was, I don't know if this was exactly, they were always trying to set up Artie with women, and he never seemed to be very happy about it. But they had this guy on, Jason Itzler, in there, and he offered to help Artie find a wife. Artie went on the wrap-up show. This is March 18th, 2006. We do a little Howard Stern on this date. That's what we're doing here. Artie went on the wrap-up show and said he thinks Howard only wants to do this for the show. Howard said he really doesn't have any ulterior motive like he thinks he does. He said that he doesn't need him to do this for the show. Artie said that he took that back yesterday, but maybe he didn't do it right away. Howard said Artie has a lot of issues, and he understands that. He said that he would love it if he had a guy hooking him up with chicks like that, and he thinks Artie should be pleased with it. Artie said he was just speaking out loud on the show. Maybe he didn't take it back the way he thought he did. So, not as bad as the bro fight, but yeah, Artie not happy on this date, March 18th, 2008, as they continue to bring in ladies for Artie, and he's still very upset that that continues to happen. So once again, thank you for joining here. Always look in the description as we do super thanks, we do super chats. I offer up memberships. We love having the fans here. We go live. I think we're going to keep trying to do this every weekday at least. Maybe not on Fridays. I like to take a long weekend, but and we look at the what happened on this date, but we like to see now that they're back, we can look back at what we heard on the show today, if anyone listened, and we can comment on that. But again, today it started off. How did he start? He started talking about the royal family and the controversy happening there. So that's how he started after not being on, for 3 weeks. So that's what happened there. March 18th, 2005, Artie's illness continues. By the way, these are all from marksfriggin.com. I thank him, as I've tried to have him on this program, but he politely declined, but he really enjoys what we do here, and I totally can't thank him enough for keeping me up to date and keeping all of you up to date what happened on the show. marksfriggin.com. Artie's illness continues, March 18th, 2005. Let's see what happened here. Let's see what this is how the show started. Howard started the show talking about how Gary will come in and hijack a conversation. All right, we don't want to hear about that. Howard was also talking about Artie's eating and how he was rushing into the studio with his bagel, not even paying attention. Artie's been eating food after 3 in the bathroom, and that's why he wants to rush in and eat first thing in the morning. He's lost 35 pounds in the past year doing things this way. So this is before Artie tells everyone that he's got the heroin issue, and let's see, Artie threw up yesterday, so he's still trying to work through his stomach problems. Howard said he got an email from someone who thinks that they know what's wrong with Artie. The writer says Artie probably has pancreatitis, and he's going to need to cut back on the types of food he's eating. The guy described the symptoms, and it sounded like what Artie was suffering from. Artie said he might be right because he doesn't have a fever. The writer has to cut off the drinking. The writer says he has to cut off the drinking and eating, but Artie has a comedy gig on Saturday in Buffalo, so he'll be drinking up there. So Artie having some trouble. March of 2005. Of course, this is before any of the issues happened at Sirius, but always fun to see that. As you look back, does anyone remember Lisa G? I said, like, oh, I have a file. And I've always wanted to know. That's if I ever have Lisa G on this program, I'm going to see what the file says. Lisa G has been contacted, but has not accepted to be on this program. I'd love to have her, of course. But that was March 18, 2005. March 18, 2003, Howard started off by saying he was trying to convince Artie to find that hooker chick he slept with in Vegas when they go out there. So if you remember this story, Artie, of course, talked about that. He had a hooker, didn't know her name, blah, blah, blah. It spawned some songs. I wish I had Artie's whore. Right? So this is where this came from. Artie didn't seem to think Howard could find her, but Howard says he just needs to name the name of the strip joint. Artie thinks be a bad situation for he and his, quote, soulmate, Dana. So this is 2003, and he is hanging out with Dana. I'm going to try to get Dana on the show, too. I saw she was on Chauncey's show a while back. But this is on this date, March 18th, 2003, they're trying to find Artie's hooker. Then we had on March 18th, 2002, the Cabbie versus Stuttering John fight discussion. So this was just brewing. Howard talked about the Cabbie and Stuttering John fight that they're working on setting up. Gary told Howard that he'd like to fight someone also. He wants to fight Jason Priestley because he's pissed at Howard and has taken out some of his aggression on Gary. And the two of them were in a celebrity hockey game. And Jason tripped Gary. I remember that. That was a great moment in show history when Jason Priestley from Beverly Hills 90210 tripped Gary. But this is from March 18, 2002, so they're getting ready for the crazy Cabbie versus Stuttering John fight. This was a good moment in the show's history when they got, like 5,000 people to see a live event. I think someone asked either on this little program we do here or on one of the interviews I did before, could they even get 5,000 people? Like, do they have enough people now listening to the show that they could get a full 5,000 seat theater sold out? And I don't know. I just don't know if there's that many people listening to the show now. But that was on March 18th, 2002. A wonderful moment when Stuttering John and Cabby fought each other. And I don't think, did anybody want a winner? I think everybody was hoping this would be a draw and that these two would get knocked fairly silly. But I can't be mean because they've both been on this program. They both talked about this on this channel. So take a look at that if you're interested in the Stuttering John and Cabby fight. Oxy Montana says doubtful that they could fill arena. I don't think so either. Please comment along if you're here. Welcome in if you're just joining. I always like to reset and let you know what we're doing. So we come in here and we have some regulars and we talk about kind of things that happened on this date. We kind of look back, dissect, talk about the show a little bit. But now, as I said, the show is back live, so we can kind of look at the show today and talk about what happened. Again, today it started off with Howard talking about the conspiracy theories, which I don't even know what's going on, but I got what Kate Middleton and Prince William maybe not together. I don't give a shit. I mean, do you? I put up my Gary Garver interview over the weekend. Hopefully you saw that. Hello, Stephen. Awesome to see this, but I'm just wondering what's your affiliation to the show? I have none. So and sometimes I get asked that. So I'll just kind of give you a quick history of my affiliation with the show. I was a fan, giant fan, super fan, I would say, from about 1990. The super fan portion happened between 98 and 2009, where I would listen every day. After the show was over, I'd play some old stuff. And so I started a podcast that was a baseball podcast. But every once in a while, we'd have Casey came through town to do a stand-up. Stuttering John came through town. So I interviewed them for the thing and thought, maybe people want to hear more of this. So I contacted Doug Goodstein and the people from the E! Crew, and it just ballooned. And now I do a podcast about Howard Stern. People come here and enjoy it. I've become friendly with some of these folks who have been on the program a few times. We're talking about doing business together, but that is my affiliate. I have no affiliation. Did not work there. But do know the people there, still talk to a lot of people there, and look forward to doing more of it. So thank you for coming, Stephen. Please subscribe and like and comment. Do super thanks if you're enjoying, or super chats. And that's what we do here. We do this, again, if you're just joining us, I'll try to do this every day, every weekday, Monday through Thursday, I should say, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Stephen. He says that's cool. So that's the affiliation. Just in case you've missed like some of the interviews, we've had Scott DePace, TRACEY MILLMAN, Gary Garver, Cabby's been on twice, Tim Sabian's been on twice. I mean, we could go on and on. Mike Ganji came on, so we've gone through a lot of the people that have come on the show, and it's really not to throw bombs. It's just to tell stories about the good times that the show has provided for most. Let's see, March. So now, and then on this program, I like to just go back and look at things that happened on this date. And we all talk about kind of the moments we talk about here as I look at marksfriggins.com and his write-ups. And we think about how great the show used to be. Remember that happening? Wow, I forgot about that. So on March 18th, 1998, Howard started off talking about how busy they're going to be. They had farters coming in, a guy who reconstructs women's vaginas, and then Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. I believe this was Dave Grohl's first appearance, March 18th, 1998. And this is the show where he does Everlong acoustic. And that became a huge hit for Dave. And they actually created an album after doing the acoustic version of Everlong. So this is a big day, March 18th, 1998. Oh, man, almost 30 years ago, Dave Grohl. And then Taylor Hawkins showed up that day as well. And Howard also wanted the Losers to perform. This was March 18th, 1998. But they didn't have any instruments. So that is on this date. Again, we had birthdays that I can tell you about real quick. We've got Queen Latifah. And I started off talking about how I loved when Evil Dave would do the Queen Latifah, and he couldn't pronounce her name. So hello, Stephen. You're saying, so you're not the guy No. No, that's not me. A huge sick and hosted the baseball show Richard and Sal would prank. No, I did not do that. Yeah, thank you, Oxy. No, that was not me. Never did a radio show. I fill in here in St. Louis every once in a while on the 590 The Fan. If you're ever in St. Louis, I hang out with Jim Hayes and Cam Jansen and that bunch. And they talk about this program over there, but no, not me. So, but I don't even know if I know that prank, but I would listen to that. I did enjoy Tradio calls. Thank you for your call. But was that Richard and Sal? Steven, no, I don't remember who that was. I'll have to go back. Oh, wait a minute. I know. Wait a minute. What's that guy's name? Oh shit. God. See, this is. I know who you're talking about. He came on the show. He came on the Stern show as well, didn't he? He had like a public access show or something like that. But yeah, oh, God, I can't remember his name though. It's fun. There's some things you just don't need to. Yeah. God, what was his name? See, if I had more items around here, I don't want people. Maybe someone else can look it up. Um, but what was his name? All right, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Hopefully, this doesn't break my computer. Big Johnson guy that did a TV show. Doobie doobie doo. I don't want to look this up. I don't know what this. I don't want to Google this, and I don't want to Google what I want to Google. But God, what was his name? Oh, he came on the show too. Oh man. Well, we'll have it. I'm sure someone will have in the comments, either live, his live, or when I post this later today. What was his name? Damn it, I don't remember. But no, not me. I mean, I have part of what we're talking about with this fella. Hello, Andrea. Greetings from the original back in the day Stern fan from Russia. God, I just think it's amazing. Like we had Denmark, we had Sweden. Now we've got Russia. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I appreciate this very much that we've got people who watch across the globe. I mean, that's a fairly amazing thing. So thank you for coming in. Thank you, Stephen. I will look. Hello from Philadelphia. How about, yeah, let's do a little check here. Where's everybody from? Welcome in Landrew, 1980. So I'm guessing that's Andrew L. But welcome in. He's from Philadelphia, so we're getting people from all over. Phillies look good this year. I love watching the Phillies. I'm looking forward to a fun year here. We got Steven. I'm going to think about all that. Oh, yeah, me too, Steven. Jonah? Jonah. His name's Jonah something. But thank you. You're from Canada. So we got Canadians in the house. Steven is from Canada. Jonah. Okay, let's try this. Jonah. I know that's the name. I did this in my head, by the way. Jonah Yankees guy, we can say. How about that? Jonah Falcon. Got it. That's him. Wasn't me. I am not Jonah. We went this far to get to that. I am not Jonah Falcon. Jonas Falcon? Jonah Falcon. I wonder, is he still around? I don't know. But we got it for you, Steven, so thank you for anyone who was curious about who that was. I know I was curious as well. You're in Ohio. Hello, Jimmy. Used to listen on 98.5 WNCX. WNCX. Hello, Rhode Island. What part of Ohio? I'm a huge fan of Ohio. And is Ohio considered the Midwest? Because it's so big. I don't think of Cleveland as being are you from Akron? We're asking here, Jimmy. 98.5 WCNX. We had it on, what do we have it on? We had it on a few stations here in St. Louis. 104.1. And it was when it was like it was like a lounge. It was like a lounge channel. They played like Frank Sinatra and shit. The Point, of course, 105.7. I believe they were they were on until, and then Woody and Rizzuto took over, and Riz is still here. Taipei? Is that true? Tuscarawas? Oh, is that Ohio? Hello, Andrew. What was the name of that crazy Pakistani guy from Canada on Stern? Are we talking about the Iron Sheik? Iron Sheik just passed, I believe? No. Well, I know they just did an A&E documentary on him. Stern equals Imus. Hello, Frazier. That is true. It's crazy that he has literally become everything that he hated. He's literally become. Which part of the what did I do good on pronunciation? I'm not sure. What did I say? Tuscanaria? Hanoia. I don't know what's happening here. I'm losing myself in the chat now. Hanzi. Oh. Thank you. What were we talking about here? It all started. So we're talking about the downfall of Stern. You think it's AGT? Yeah, I mean, it's fairly obvious, that 2013 area, he went to do AGT. He did, We've got folks in the chat answering each other. Handsy, got it. That's who. Okay, talk about the Canadian. We talked about the tape being released where they did the summit. That was leaked by a Stern employee. So that was a part of the downfall. And then we had MARCI. MARCI came along and I think ruined the show, according to most that we've talked to here. His wife definitely tamed him, Ashton Andrews. Yeah. You say Ashton says right after. Hello. Hey now, Anthony. Hello. Hey now. Hey now. Right after Artie left, that's when I say the show ended. I stopped listening once Artie was off the show, so I used that as my watermark because I just stopped listening. I couldn't imagine the show without that voice, and it didn't sound the same to me. So that's when I had it going back. The Pelican Brief, Fraser. You're just asking a question, or are we just talking about the movie? Hello, Fraser. Artie? Yes, yeah, I think it's when Artie left. Huge Artie fan. Again, we try to get Artie on. We're going to try to get Artie on this program here. I know he knows about it. I'm fairly certain. I know he's doing, or I've heard he's doing okay. So we'll see. Jackie Marlowe, is that when the show went downhill? Is that what you're saying, Landry? I thought it was still pretty good when Artie came on. I thought 2001 was rough, though. When Jackie left, and they kept bringing in like Craig Gass and Ron Zimmerman and Greg Fitzsimmons, it was like, what are they going to do? They can't just not have a secondary voice. And then Artie came in and took the chair. Andrew says, yeah, after Artie left, I listened for a bit, but it was never the same, sadly. Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy because people will kind of tell me about things that happened in like 2010 or 2011. And I'm like, I wasn't listening. And then they're like, you're not a super fan. And I've never said I'm a super fan. I mean, I am, but back then. Fraser, you still love Richard and Sal. They're really the only two like holdovers from anything, right? I mean, you've got, Benji and Baba Booey and Fred and Robin, but I mean, we had Stuttering John and KC and Artie, and then those guys are all gone. Steven says Artie is the best because my last name is Lange, so I hope he's realized because of my upswings and downfalls with drug and gambling and horror addictions, I'm guessing we are the same. Well, I hope you're doing okay, Steven. I don't know if that's true or not, but I appreciate that. DOA's attorney, if they would just stop with all the gay stuff, I'd watch, but it's a bit too much. I don't even know if they even do that anymore. But Sal and Richard do, I guess. Artie didn't fit in the PC agenda, so it's so sad that Stern won't even reach out to him. When people aren't beneficial to his show or success, they're dead to him completely. That's true. It's crazy how that happens. I guess they did reach out, but yeah, I mean, once you're off the show, like the E guys, it's over. I dig Jackie. I stopped listening when he left. Artie took the mellow out of the show. Not bad, just louder. It was a different show with Artie, that's for sure. That's a comment here. But even Richard and Sal are not the same since Stern went woke. I'm guessing that's true as well. What do they do? I mean, they did do some. I guess with the Chief stuff, Richard's still doing some weird stuff. But there's Sparky. You guys hear Sparky? I told you, I knew Sparky'd be part of this program sooner or later. Sparky the dog. Ack, welcome. Hello, Gonzo. Thank you for joining. I'm not sure if that's the Gonzo that I've contacted before or if you've been on this program before, but hello, Gonzo. Ack to you as well. I see the emojis from Jay, but I can't really figure out what country that is. He's showing off some flags, and I can't really understand. Sorry about that. So are we saying when Eric passed that the show got bad? Man, there was times where I'm like, God, I just can't stand Eric. I don't need to hear him. But it was amazing that he was so committed. And there's been conversations we've had with folks here. Israel, hello. Thank you for coming in. Israel is in the house. I appreciate that. My eyes are bad, and I don't know that flag. I'm sorry, I can't say that. When do you think Howard will finally close the curtains on the show now that the metaphorical coat of paint is peeled off? Supportive Duck. Hello, Supportive Duck. Thank you. We were talking about this a little earlier, and Howard this morning on the show was talking with Robin, and Robin thought that the contract was up at the end of this year. It's up at the end of next year, so they still have a year and a half. But Robin seemed to be interested in continuing going, and I don't understand what we're going on there. Eric and Artie were some of the best radio ever. So yeah, we were talking about Eric. Some people thought that he knew he was in on the joke. Like he was actually part of. I never thought that, but they said that some folks were like, "Oh no, Eric knew what he was doing. That was an act." I actually had Jan on the show. If you go back and take a look, and Jan even said that, and I had to kind of question him. I was like, I don't know about all that. He's, but he did get a lot of time on the show. So, all right. So we've got a nice crowd here. We're answering questions. We did some Howard Stern on this date. We looked back at the show today a little bit. Got some more questions coming in from the folks here watching live, so I read them aloud and then I talk to the folks here. Did you ever talk to Ralph? I never did. So, anybody associated with the show, like, still not available to me. I've never really even tried. So no, I did not talk to Ralph. But people who left the show seemingly were interested in discussing it after, if they didn't have an NDA. I'm trying to get Scott the engineer on this damn show. I'd love to talk to him. He had many great memories. The only reason I'll ever listen is the once in a blue moon contact with Beat. Eric, to me, was okay in small doses, but I think it got overplayed. Yeah, and then Beat's not even really on as much, right? And he's more of a TikTok star. But I do enjoy Beetlejuice. If you want to see it, I will be either reposting or doing another interview with his manager, Bobby. Bobby runs his Twitter account and asks some questions and then just answers them. Hello, supportive duck. Have you and Artie ever had a correspondence about doing an interview? I have not had a correspondence with him. I have met him twice, though. We've hung out actually here in St. Louis, which I'm sure he doesn't remember. But I was like close to his manager at that point, and then I actually I knew his sister a little bit through his manager. But that was in 2009, so that was a long time ago. So hopefully we'll have Artie on this program. We have a sports question here. Why is Joe Mauer in the Hall of Fame? Or why is he not in the Hall of Fame? I don't think he's not in the Hall of Fame, is he? Did he just get voted in? He did get voted in. He's a good catcher. 3-time batting champion as a catcher. I can't hear Beat's name without hearing the song. This is Beato. Yep. All right. That's Jeep TJ. And then we've got the real Cap Brennan. Thanks for the interviews. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that. He is in the Hall of Fame. That's right. So I really do appreciate you folks coming here and saying hello, and we're having just a nice conversation. We can continue doing that. We're talking sports. We're talking Wack Packers. And tomorrow we'll be back here at the same time, so please come back. We'll do some more conversation about our favorite Wack Packers, our favorite moments on the show. Of course, there is super chat. There's memberships, super thanks. So take a look at the description here or in the taped version, and you can take a look at that. Buster Posey was a better catcher and an ETM fan. Well, I think Buster Posey is going to be in the Hall of Fame, so you don't have to worry about that. I don't think we have to compare these guys. I think I think he's one of the. I mean, Buster Posey is going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't think there's any problem with that. I think Joe Mauer was questionable, but the offense and how often he did it as a catcher is going to help him. Buster didn't play as much catcher, but we'll see. Who remembers the song Ralphie Cake? Ralphie Cake. I remember that song. Of course I do. Was that Fred? I don't remember who did that. Who are the top 3 Wack Packers in your opinion? Oh, that's a good question. This comes up all the time. I mean, Beetlejuice is in there, right? It's got to be. Let me think back. I love Crackhead Bob. I love Crackhead Bob. I'm not saying. I'm going through my head. Let's think of one. Let's go to the list. Let me see here, and then maybe I can get, because High Pitch Eric is not on this list. I think he's a fraud. We said Beetlejuice. Let's see here. I'm going to the map here. Stuttering John. Yeah, who are the Hall of Fame Wack Packers? Is that what we're doing here? Let's see here. I'm just going to read. Since Mike Tyson is boxing again, do you think we can get a Beat versus Tyson or Jake Paul fight? I don't think so. I don't know. And then we had people talking about that fight coming up here. I don't think Tyson's going to really try, right? Is he going to try, or is he just going to take the paycheck? I think he's just going to take the paycheck. Beat Hank and High Pitch. Beat Crackhead Bob and Ass Napkin. Um, this is a living Wack Packer list in alphabetical order. Angry Alice, formerly Crazy Alice. Asian Pete, Ass Napkin Ed. Beetlejuice, Bigfoot. Gary the Conqueror. High Pitch Eric. High Register Sean. Jeff the Drunk. Jeff the Vomit Guy. And I can't even do my impression. John the Stutterer. I was not a fan of John the. I can tell you who I was not a fan of. What part of UK are you from? They're asking. I'm not from the UK. If you're asking me, I'm from the Midwest, St. Louis. Hello. Which Wack Packers are borderline Hall of Famers but not worthy of Cooperstown? We've got Yucko, Riley Martin, Eric. I don't know if Yucko considered a Wack Packer? To me, the number one is Hank. I'm going to go Hank. I loved Hank in rock and roll trivia. Melrose Larry Green. Siobhan, Sour Shoes. All right, Sour Shoes is number one in my book. There was never a time that Sour Shoes was doing whatever he was doing and I wasn't laughing hysterically. I'll go Sour Shoes, Beetlejuice, Hank. Those are my top three. There's some hockey picks over there. We won the Stanley Cup in 2019, so I'd have to turn the camera, but there's more baseball. I did more fun with baseball. Love the Blues, but there's been more winning with the Blues or with the Cardinals. Tyson will destroy that tool. Yes, he will. Hank is a classic. Thank you. Hank versus Beat was peak show. I agree with that. And they had those guys both in, I would say. These folks are considered not Wack Pack material. The following individuals were considered at one time Wack Pack. However, since 2005, they've been excluded by Stern and the Wack Pack for reasons including their inability to hold a job and function in society while still having funny or unusual personalities. So I'm going to look back at your top three beats mine. I thought you meant Blues as in Peggy Lee. All right. So here's some that did not get mentioned. Angry Black, Big Black, Bobo, Captain Jenks, Daniel Carver, Elegant Elliot Offen, Ham Hands Bill. I actually tried to get Ham Hands Bill on this program. I gotta be honest. Wasn't interested. Hate Man, Hate Woman, Kielbasa Queen, King of All Blacks, Marianne from Brooklyn. Oh my goodness, there's a long list here. And then the deceased. We've got Bigfoot, Blue Iris, Cliff Pallet, Debbie the Space Alien, Fran the Singing Psychic. I did not know she passed. You guys are forgetting about Elliot. Boy, I can't say that. I was not a fan of his shtick. He's shtick. Interesting fella or whatever. I was not a big fan of that. But thank you, Krista Helicopter. Welcome in. Hello, Mackie. Just jumping in real quick, and then I'm out. Howard became a woke bitch, and I can't stomach him anymore. He's like so many others who got the Trump derangement syndrome and has been cringe since. Well, hello, Mackie. Thanks for joining, and we'll do this every day. So every weekday, Monday through Wednesday, maybe even Thursday. Yeah. So Fran predicted that Howard's blonde new wife and Clinton's troubles. I remember that. Oh, yeah. Yes, I did. Crackhead Bob, as I mentioned. Eric the actor. Fruity Nutcake. Joey Boots. Kenneth Keith. Nicole Bass. And Evil David Letterman, just to name a few. I loved when Nicole Bass was on the show. I could not get enough of Fred doing Nicole Bass as Herman Munster. And they did a whole thing. Underdog Woman, that's a good one. And where is she? She's not even listed here. Let me look here. Oh, she's on there. Yeah, Susan Muldaney. At first was not a fan of Underdog Woman, but the further along that she was on and the commitment to the bit, I became a fan. She's just well, I don't want to say what I was going to. Can I say nut job? Nut. What was the name of the guy that blew smoke out of his eyes? That was Kenneth Keith Kallenbach. I think that's the first thing I ever saw on the Channel 9 show. We didn't get the Channel 9 show till maybe the last 15 or 20, but they ran a rerun. And it started with Kenneth Keith blowing smoke out of his eyes on the Channel 9 show. And they showed it here at 3 a.m. in the morning, so I would record it, and me and my brother would watch it the next day. I was about to ask about the underdog lady, also Tan Mom. I am not a fan of Tan Mom. Again, I think she's come on later since I stopped listening. Plus, from what I hear, I'm not interested. So Let's see if I missed any comments here. Riley Martin, of course, was brought up. Yes. So really enjoying this chat we're having here today. We've delved into some names I hadn't thought of, as in Jonah Falcon or the Underdog Lady. Man, this Wack Pack list on Wikipedia is so interesting because you kind of forget about some of these names. Yeah, this is the official list. Lenny Dykstra is included in this list, which is funny. I'm not a fan of when he comes on either. This is Jeff the Vomit Guy, Jeff Levy, and I'm just here to, I need someone to vomit on. If you know anybody who's interested in being vomited on, I thought that was the craziest. How about, let's go way back. How about someone who was on it once or twice, Yaki the Tickler? I actually looked up Yaki the Tickler to try to get him on here. And I couldn't do it. I mean, I figured he would come on, and I thought, what? He does some weird stuff on his website, and I just thought I think that's a bridge too far. This all of what I do here is probably a bridge too far. No. So let me look here. Distant Hope, hello. Any Anthony Cumia news? No, I don't know what's up with him. Don't follow him as much, so I don't know if there's something going on with him I should know. Krista says, I love how Miss Howard Stern would not give up her title. That's why Howard had to do the black Miss Howard Stern. Andrea, still out there, still doing her thing, I think. And Andree says, also remember Ian the Drunk, Russian guy from New York. He wasn't so much a whack packer, but a regular caller. Was it the Mad Russian, Andrea? Because I believe the Mad Russian, if that's the same guy we're talking about, actually came from St. Louis. He was a St. Louis person, and then showed up on the Stern Show at some point. So this has been fun. We could go on and on. Is there anything else we need to? I mean, we were talking about some of the fun whack packers here. This is how we do. We start with kind of like looking back at the fun on this date, and we end up talking to the people in the chat. And if you're watching not live, this is why you come in live. We have a little community here we discuss, and then maybe the next membership will be we'll bring one of these people in and we'll just start bringing video. I'm trying to figure that out. Maybe that's the next step. Jesus Twins is the final one. I don't even consider them whack packers. They are the best guests of all time on the show. But hello from Maine. Thank you, Kay. The Jesus Twins never had a bad appearance. I mean, they were they were outstanding. And of course, I always mention trying to get the surviving Jesus Twin on the program here. Who was the guy that created the name, the Sibian? Don't remember. It was a drunk Russian guy who called in. I don't think he ever came in. So it might have been the Mad Russian. I'm not sure. I'm just reading the comments here. I miss Artie. He's the best. I do too. I wish I had a time machine, says Chip. Dan Filato. How about Dan Foreman, though? How about the Channel 9 producer they used to have on all the time? Dave Landry. Who are these names? Hi, Jim. Hello, Jake. People just throwing out names here now, and I don't know those names. It's probably the name of the person who created the Sibian? Sibian? Remember the Sibian? What a show. I mean, can you imagine them doing that now? They don't do that. Thank you, Jim. I'm sorry, I should have known. Dave Landry we believe is the name of the person who created the Sibian. Sibian. The boat is on fire. My boat is on fire, Dominic. Is Dominic a whack packer? I mean, you got that whole Friends of Stern kind of group, like Ralph and Dominic and who's the guy? Ross, Zapin. Who's the watch guy? Steven Singer. Melrose. Yeah, Melrose should have been mentioned. He was on the list. He's an original whack packer. Well, I did not know that we'd have so much conversation, and we still have so many people here. I don't want to leave because I think we're having a good time. Should we go to the top of the hour? Do we have anything else to talk about? I've run out of topics. I'm now just thanking everybody for coming in and helping create another wonderful live stream. Let's see. Rodney's first visit when Jackie was caught in a lie. The e-show of it was great. Jackie lost all the color in his face. Right, how Rodney came in and goes like, I got one more thing. Jackie's like, oh shit, this is coming at me. I remember that, and that was a wonderful program. Jackie talked about that here on this program, so you can take a look at that if you go back and take a look at the former interviews. Again, we have such a nice size crowd here. I don't want to leave. I like having this kind of group here. Again, these get posted live. This live version. Now, what I've learned is the live version kind of goes. It takes till overnight for it to post, so people see it again. Do I have any Stern related guests planned? I'm working on it. I will be quite candid. I feel like I've run out of names of people that I haven't. I mean, I've literally just asked as pretty much a name a person. I've asked them. So either they've said no, or they've been on. So nobody yet. Nobody in line, but I'm working on it. How about that? The Beetlejuice Mr. T episode was the best ever for me. Artie getting him so heated with Mr. Tree trying to calm him down was great. Yes. Bloomies. Ted, I've tried to find. If anybody knows where Teddy is, I have been looking for Teddy and cannot find Teddy. Thank you, Ashton. A new follow. Appreciate that. So please take a look around. Take a look at the former interviews. I appreciate you coming here. Again, we're just trying the live thing. This is what, week 2? I may have tried it a couple of weeks ago, but we're going to try to do this daily. We're going to build it. We're going to build this YouTube community. We're going to talk about our favorite moments, see what happened on the show that day. We can talk about why we don't like the show now. But yeah, we're 50 minutes in. I think I'm going to say goodbye. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or do you want to save it for tomorrow? Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. You guys have any super thanks you want to click and hit that super chat, become a member. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you, Oxy. Thank you, everybody. All right, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. Hello. Oh, this just randomly popped up in my feed. I love it. It's 5:50 in Taipei. All right, well, hopefully every morning you wake up in Taipei, we'll have you here. Hello. Hello, Anthony. I'm new to your channel. Will you introduce yourself? Are you a super fan? All right. So, hi, I'm Brad. I'm a super fan. I was not part of the show. We did talk about this a little bit earlier, but I'll give the rundown here for those who are just jumping in and saying hello. I'll answer my final 4 here in a moment. So I used to work in sports television for many years here in St. Louis, Missouri. I did a lot of stuff with the Cardinals, did a lot of stuff as producer. And when I left there, I still wanted to do a podcast. So I started interviewing baseball players, and then comedians were coming through town. And just had this podcast called Baseball and Beyond. And KC was coming through town to do stand-up. Stuttering John came in. So we did an interview with them, and Jim Florentine came through, and I did an interview with him. And I realized on YouTube, these were getting a lot more views than the baseball thing. So I thought, let's try to get more folks from the Stern Show. So I contacted Doug, and then The Pace, and then Tim Sabian, and then one after another, and we all became friends. And now that's what I do. I interview former Stern folks. And what I do now is we do a little live stream here. So thank you, Jimmy. Good evening to you. Have a great evening. Thank you for saying good stream. So hopefully that answers your question. Thank you for saying this is awesome. I really appreciate it. It's 048 in Moscow. All right. Well, thank you for joining. That's right. You told me you're from Russia. This is quite an amazing feat. Half this group is not from America. So I really do appreciate everybody coming in here. Hello, Sarah. Thank you for those. Did he do the whole set about doing horrible things to kids? LOL. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut. We're going to go. Man, I don't want to leave, though. This is too good. We're having too much fun, but I think I have to eat dinner at some point. I have to do some freaking laundry or something like that, right? I don't know. But we're here. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Ashton. Thank you so much. You've become a member. Wow. So we'll see what we can do about that for you. We'll make something special for you. We got a new member. Thank you. Your show always picks up at the end. I know. We start off with what we have here, Oxy. We start off with kind of a base, a little on this date, and then people come in and we start talking. And this is, if this is what people want to do. Do you believe Tim intentionally shat outside the toilet bowl 20 years ago? Very important. No, I don't. I just think he's a big man. I've always wanted to ask him about that, though. Hello, Jeep. You're from Jersey, actually. So I was supposed to make my Final Four prediction. I got to be honest. I didn't watch a lot. I think it's wide open, though, because, all these portal players go from school to school. I don't even know I don't even know who's where. I don't. Just give me chalk. Give me North Carolina. Give me, I guess, Purdue, Arizona, and James Madison. Tim was so embarrassed. Yes, he was very embarrassed. Uh, all right. Man, we have got a good crowd here, but I think it's time. I think it's time. Let's go Wildcats. All right. Where's Miss Howard Stern now? I don't know. I don't. I don't know. Um, hello from Arizona. Oh, Arizona. We got some Arizona fans in the house. Okay. I could go with the Wildcats. I have some buddies who live out that way, so go Arizona Wildcats. All right. I'm going to go and wrap it up because I could just sit here and talk to you all day. But we'll do this again tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, and we'll do it again. We'll look back at some moments on this date. We'll listen to the show, and we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time.